Good evening. Once again, we return to the story of Caius, Spellsword, Dunmer, Eternal Champion, finest courier in Tamriel, former agent of the Emperor, current head of the Blades in Morrowind, auditor of the Great Houses.
Well met.
And I still don't like the rain. All the storms are kind of neat. Alright, so this might be a little loud for my dialogue, and I'm trying to remember why I'm in Dagenfell. There it is. I need to get to Lotharan. You know, other than the rain, this probably won't be all that bad of a trip. Although finding a direct path might be a bit of a problem. So once this is done, we'll obviously take a... Actually, given where I'm at, maybe I just try and make it to the Ashlander camp. Wonder how Netch feel about the rain. The Crash Wheat is for the Fortify personality, although I should be looking for Fortify speed as well. I did not realize how helpful that was. Given that they're mountains, it's entirely possible that the stronghold's in a spot that I can't just walk up to. There we go. makes sense. Oh, Dunmer, not Dwemer. And yes, I'm on a rescue mission, but can you really blame me? Oh no. Thank goodness. Never mind it. I wanted to try and be friendly. I'm trying to remember if I read all the books. I feel like I had to keep one. We definitely read that. Definitely read that. I'm not sure I read this one.
Children of the Sky. Nords consider themselves to be the children of the sky. They call Skyrim the throat of the world because it is where the sky exhaled on land and formed them. They see themselves as eternal outsiders and invaders, and even when they conquer and rule another people, they feel no kinship with them. The breath and the voice are the vital essence of a Nord. When they defeat great enemies, they take their tongues as trophies. These are woven into ropes and can hold speech like an enchantment. The power of a Nord... Excuse me. Just gonna pause for a second here. Sadly, we're 7 minutes in, so I can't just reset the recording that way. All right. The power of a Nord can be articulated into a shout like the kai of an Akaviri swordsman. The strongest of their warriors are called tongues. When the Nords attack a city, they take no siege engines or cavalry. The tongues form in a wedge in front of the gatehouse and draw in breath. When the leader lets it out in a kai, the doors are blown in and the axemen rush into the city. Shouts can be used to sharpen blades or to strike enemies. A common effect is the shout that knocks an enemy back, or the power of a command. A strong Nord can instill bravery in men with his battle cry, or stop a charging warrior with a roar. The greatest of the Nords can call to specific people over hundreds of miles, and can move by casting a shout, appearing where it lands. The most powerful Nords cannot speak without causing destruction. They must go gagged and communicate through sign language and through scribing runes. The further north you go into Skyrim, the more powerful and elemental the people become, and the less they require dwellings and shelters. Wind is fundamental to Skyrim, and the Nords, those that live in the far wastes, always carry a wind with them.
Alright, I think I'm caught up.
Die, fixer! Kill Inwa.
If it didn't say you were in combat, I would agree with that.
I have
To be honest, he sounded more disappointed in me than anything. really need to get back to trapping souls. It's mostly just because I haven't had a full complement of gems. I know I wound up putting low-value souls and high-value gems.
Die, fixer!
I'll admit I am feeling a little bad about this because they seem so weak.
You in.
Alright, I mostly just wanted to figure out what that diversion cost me in terms of weight, but we're okay. Although I think there's gonna be some problems in terms of, right, it's still raining. I think there may still be some problems when I try to make it to the Ursulaku camp.
I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Dulvus Vasek Viloran. How can I help you?
What do you do here?
I am a witch hunter. I dedicate body and soul to the destruction of profane magics. Most foul are necromancers, who defile the bodies and spirits of the sacred dead. Equally abominable are the evil Daedra worshippers. The Daedra lords delight in the torment and corruption of mortals. They reward followers with terrible powers always used for evil purposes. Employing the tools of the enemy, the spells of the College of Conjuration, I risk contamination, but I must fight fire with fire.
There's no escape.
Oh. Well, hello there. it said. I needed an index. Alright, so what do these things look? I seem to remember those, rave chambers. Oh man. I have no idea how many of these things I just walked by. Good pipe and low quality chest. I see we've got our priorities in order. Not the brightest Dunmer warrior.
You inward.
I just picked up something exceptionally heavy, it looks like. Alright. I'm obviously gonna have to drop some stuff, but, okay, that's huge. It's not so much. I very clearly couldn't have walked. Oh, hang on. Nope, that's not it. It's taking up so much weight. I guess I can give him his clothes back. Still doesn't address, I definitely want to keep this just because of the value. Oh, wait a minute. It's also what I'm looking for goodness sake. That trick's not gonna work again. All right. Bless you.
What are you doing here? Can you let Jaraska go free?
Yes, you can go free.
Jaraska cannot be freed without the key.
I thought I had it.
Look, I like you, but not enough to tell you that.
Warm day to you. Greetings, friend. The traveler seeks answers. Warm day to you.
Alright, before I go too much further on this. No, you know, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna drink a lot of magic potions. There we go.
Please, Laren Terreno is a sorcerer and worshipper of Molag Bal. He's a terrible sorcerer, but he also carries a deadly sword. He stripped me and made me his prisoner. That's all I can remember. I can't recall how I got here or why. I think he's poisoned my mind with spells. If you can recover my ring from Laren Terreno, I can use its enchantments to escape. Please, rescue the slaves too, if you can. Laren Terreno has got the slave key. Bring me my ring, please. Yes, that's my ring. Please, it grants me divine intervention. Now I can escape. Give it to me now. I don't care about anything else. Just get me out of here.
Khajiit serve well. Warm day to you. Stupid! Stupid!
There it is.
You're beaten.
I wasn't short on confidence.
You have the key. Will you let me go, Fleury? Yes, now I am free. Thank you, Caius. You do not know? Oeus was sure, but you should be a member. If Waius asks, have you seen the twin lamps? You say, they light the way to freedom.
This is an honor for me. May you walk on warm sands. Warm day to you, friend. Good friend.
Obviously, I'm going to be using up a lot of magic as I carry this weight, but although now that I think of it, I wonder what the closest stronghold. So if it's Palmora, looks like Lamarin, that's actually not that far away. Ideally, it would be Ebonheart. Alright. You know what? I actually don't know what that index. So I think that index that I just got will let me travel here. Ideally, I'll test it first. that's right, which one you're at before you can access it. I feel like there should be lower levels to this. Right, well, it seems just as good of a time to get back home. So obviously I would have liked to go to the, where's the Ashlander camp? But I am overburdened. You know, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out a thing or two about my weights. What time is it? Let's get a rest in. Alright, so first thing I know is that this is a quest objective, so I shouldn't be messing with that. The rest of this is really just a matter of getting, okay, well, I don't need my axe either, so I might even be able to make the difference just by picking up all the materials and converting them into potions. Oh, and I've got books. Wait a minute. Fair enough. I had numbered books somewhere. I don't think we have Children of the Sky yet. Definitely have Adra and Daedra. And then the final lesson is a new one. Should probably read this at some point. Just because I read it doesn't mean I take it. Alright, let's get some crafting done though. So, as always, if I can, magic potions. Alright, so anything related to magicka is on the ground. This will be good. Alright, now I don't always get a chance to do fortify speed, so let's see if we've got anything for that. Resin's my new best friend. So, this is going to be awkward if there's a raid, or even if Caius Caustates comes home, but I'm going to hang on to the skooma for its speed properties. Right, I was hanging on to that vampire dust in case I had other uses for it, so the fortify strength is going to be a little bit hard to do. But let's start with it. Now I have use for ash hams. I think I used to try to get rid of ash yams. Yeah, they're helpful. Also, I want to see this Propylon thing. Ugh, weighs 2. But it's not like I'm not carrying a bunch of other nonsense with me. Alright. I took care of strength, so... Ash salts are really hard to get rid of, so blight disease and drain agility. Might even have some trauma root now that yep. So any drain willpower I can find. More than I thought I would get. You know, at this point, let's just deal with the fatigue. If you have a particularly big dinner, you wind up paralyzed. Alright, I can get a lot more wickweed, it turns out, so that's not something I need to be too tight-fisted about. I am trying to remember, though, I think it was stoneflower petals that I was going to connect with crash fiber, so let's leave that aside. So ideally drain intelligence. Again, damage intelligence. intelligence is a different thing for some reason. Alright, so let's try drain strength. Drain health. There's plenty of drain magic, so let's at least get that out of the way. So it looks like all of these have different drains. So I guess the question is, do I want to take advantage of any of these other... I mean, restore fatigue isn't bad. Isn't bad. Restore health isn't bad. So yeah, let's work with restore health. Alright, that'll give me enough to work with. I won't remember this between journeys, but this stuff is just kind of throw whatever I can at it. The ones on the left have properties that I want to keep. Alright, so I've got to come back to pick these up, but I can at least buy and sell a few goods. So the metal goods are probably the heaviest. I'll stop by the Fighters Guild first. I do want to try and sell some things off at the
3 blessings.
at the Alchemist too.
Welcome to Balmora, council seat of House Lalu. How can I serve you?
Just want to sell you another copy of Pedro and Ada.
I must say, I find you most interesting right
Welcome,
now.
adventurer.
Please
Looking
go
for an
ahead.
equalizer? Something to give you an edge against a superior opponent? When you need to do a lot of damage in a hurry, you can't beat a poison blade. Try my inexpensive Iron Spider Dagger and Steel Spider Blade, or an Imperial Netch Blade for even more bite.
Outgoing only today, I'm afraid. See, I don't think I'm going to be able to sell them anything else here, but it doesn't hurt to try. Nope.
The pleasure is all mine.
This is unexpected, but not unwelcome. Please go ahead.
Keep forgetting who's cool about skooma.
Was it the latest rumors you were looking for, Caius? If not, I'll be happy to tell you anything I know about Balmora or any other Morrowind lore.
We're not really just here for work. Alright. So I've definitely learned to look for certain traits. Yeah, why not? Sadly, no fortify speeds. Clearly, I'm going to be taking those and putting them back home, but where I can, I want to try and get some money. I might hang on to the spell absorption. Yeah, I'll hang on to it. So I'll confess I'm a little surprised that I'm not as laden down with high-value potions as I thought I was. I definitely need to start drinking from this pile. I'm gonna start selling my heavy potions. Don't have any of those either. Alright, let's just try and rack up the price and might have been able to get away with more. Wait a minute. I realize this isn't exactly the most stimulating material, but
tidings and good wishes to
Alright, so we're still a bit heavy. Oh, I can't believe it. Spend so much time trying to sell the magic stuff.
What can I do?
So yeah, it's still a bit heavy once you account for the other things I'll be bringing in. But I think we'll be able to make it to Ebonheart.
Under sun and sky out there.
And the fact of the matter is, we're probably not going to be spending too much time in towns, given that we're trying to unite the clans. Now, one of these, one of these. I'm just going to make another pile. There might be duplicates, but I'm going to pick it up anyway. Oof. What am I carrying that's so heavy? Well, I mean, the sword, but... Alright, so the plan will be, we use the guild guide to go to Vivek and then make it to Ebonheart. Ebonheart, we turn in the quest for the Imperial cult, and then we head back to Vivek to, I suppose, go to Belmora. No, that doesn't make sense. Alderun. And then we can, make it to the Ursulaku camp. I might have to make a stop in Belmora if they let me keep the sword, which they likely will.
Warm day to you, friend.
What does the Archmage ask of Ajira?
I need you to hang on to something for me. Looks like you got a comp berry, so I'll take some of that off your hands. Oh, these are tough. I'd really like to pick up some of these, but I know they'll carry.
I'm Maiseline Marion, the Breton Guild Guide. I provide instantaneous transport between various Mages Guild halls on Vardenfell. What is your destination? I can also help with local information. Do you need services? Are you looking for some specific place, or for someone in particular?
Just Vivek, please. I don't know if they'll be able to buy, How do you feel about skooma? Yeah, fair enough. Not even asking. Why?
Welcome, friend. The day is yours.
Thank you.
What shall we do?
Move along.
Alright, so, I'm gonna try and make it a quick trip to Ebonheart just so I can turn things in. It's really gonna be the trip to the Ursulaku camp that takes all the time, I think.
not long ago.
It's a nice day. Spend so much time complaining about the rain that I don't appreciate when it... Ah!
Tidings and good wishes to you, friend.
Ah, welcome. Well, hello. You seem to be doing all right for yourself. What can I do for you?
At a moment of doubt, I'm like, no, this is the way to the Imperial Shrine. I think I become an oracle after this.
Well met. Greetings.
I always get that wrong.
What did I do to deserve this honor?
Adumasi Asurnarian has told me how you Sorry, let me try that again. Adumasi Asurnarian has told me how you rescued her, and begs me to give you this as a token of her gratitude. From what she says, your task was not easy, and you also managed to recover the Ice Blade of the Monarch, which I hope will keep and dedicate. Hope you will keep and dedicate to the service of the Imperial cult. I celebrate you and your courage and determination. Thank you again, and speak with me when you're ready to undertake another of the Oracle's quests.
Welcome, Dunmer. Let's set aside our differences and talk, shall we?
I want to know what this ring does.
Oracle Caius, the healer Urjanad is overdue and presumed dead. He went to the Daedric shrine of Memelaka with a powerful artifact called the Scroll of Fiercely Roasting. Signs say he's come to grief inside Ashemimilaka. Go find his body, recover the scroll, and return it to us. Or, if you would risk your life to complete the quest that took Urjod's life, use the scroll to slay Caracalmo, the shrine's ancient high elf priest, and his powerful high elf bodyguard, Mirian.
Sorry. Tell me more about this person you sent.
Urjarad is the apprentice and protege of Drofaran Stiffneck, a healer and holy monk of the Imperial cult slain by Caracalmo. Urjarad has sworn vengeance for the life of his master and pursued Caracalmo, armed with his dead master's weapons, enchantments, and a powerful item called the Scroll of Fiercely Roasting. Urjarad is in no way strong enough to challenge Caracalmo and Mirian, but he could not be persuaded from following his quest for revenge.
Tell me about the shrine.
It's a large Daedric ruin offshore of the island south of Narmak, west of the Dunmer stronghold called Halormaran in the Bitter Coast region. A thin strand of land connects the southern part of the island with the mainland on the coast southwest of the stronghold.
Possible I might have already done this then. Tell me about Caracalmo.
Caracalmo is a very old high elf wizard. As a young mage, he served Uriel V, though he did not follow him to Akavir. He was accounted among the wise and powerful until he was implicated in Jagar Tharn's plot to place an impostor on the Imperial throne. Since then, he and his bodyguard, a masterful knight called Morion, have been fugitives. Caracalmo is a servant of Marunas Dagon, a grim agent of death and destruction, and the Imperial cult has long sought to destroy him.
Let's talk about advancement.
Congratulations, Caius, you've been promoted to Oracle. You've shown yourself to be a loyal and diligent member of the Imperial cult, Caius. As a token of our appreciation, here is a little gift that may make your labors a little easier. And please remember, check your advancement in our ranks regularly.
Akatosh Ringa. I approve.
I asked you to recover a powerful artifact called the Scroll of Fiercely Roasting and return it to me. When you have the scroll, or when you have slain Caracalmo, the ancient high elf priest of the Daedric shrine of Ashel Memilaka, and his powerful high elf bodyguard Morion, return to me.
What about further advancement?
You have the attributes and skills we expect in our higher ranks, but you've not yet dedicated enough time and service to the Nine to warrant advancement. I can tell you more about the Imperial cult ranks and their requirements if you'd like.
What comes after Oracle? Invoker, Thurgist, and Primate. Works for me. Alright, so if I wanted to do this, this would be... Narmak. Let me bring up the map to see that. Interesting. South of Narmak. Oh, I see it. Alright, well, it's just as easy, and it saves me a little bit of money to, What's my heaviest restore fatigue? Amazing. Oh, it's 8. Drat. It's so late. Alright. Oh well, I guess it was a lazy day. There, of course, was a reason why I came back. While I'm at it, as much as I like Zenithor's gloves, let's put those down too. I'll hang on to the... Some of these I'll hang on to. Alright, I guess that's all I have the heart for. So let's see if I can find a fast way to Narmak. seem to remember I used to keep going to Alderaan for it, but... Satan might offer something, but if Narmok... I think Narmok might be the small village that doesn't actually have much in the way of amenities, so... I'll take it to Alderaan. I really should be visiting the Urshalaku, but...
An honor, to be sure.
I don't suppose any of you might want to buy,
You're in good company, friend.
Worth a
I
try.
must say, I find you most interesting.
How about sharing
Alright, so Alderaan's gonna be a bit of a tricky...
what do I owe?
gonna be a bit of a tricky one. It might even just make sense for me to, just walk forward until I encounter something that says I'm on my way to Narmok. Alright, so I want to double check Margon, Narmok, so Narmok is where I'm heading. Margon is to the north. I do not want that. This is off to a tough start. Alright, well, like I said, there's no signpost, so let's just keep walking forward until we find an appropriate road. These things I need to harvest for the fortify speed. I suppose if it really came down to it, I could try, I could try doing a bunch of destruction spells. I already got turned around. Fortunately, I'm no longer in the dust storm. The Nords can have their wind if they want it. Chokeweed wound up being kind of helpful. Obviously, I'm looking for Comberry, but we've definitely been pretty careful about picking up that as much of that as we can already. Oh, Stoneflower is always good. remember I sort of stopped picking up mushrooms just because it felt like there were so many, I was just getting so much stuff and it wasn't really helping, but as it turns out, the poisons I can get out of that are really helpful. And it's very clear that I'm running into some situations where I haven't generated enough potions to be able to sell. I don't want to get wet. Alright, so the point is not Narmok itself, but the island. So I should be heading south. Something's coming after me. So again, if I can, I'd like to avoid getting wet. But as soon as I see Daedric ruins, wow, you guys must have been following me for a while. Yeah, so the aim is to try and find the silhouette of a Daedra shrine, and then take care of whatever we find inside. Didn't need to do that. Be nice. Ah, I said be nice. I'm a little worried about getting off track, but we still haven't seen the silhouette of the Daedric ruins. Now it should be directly in front of me, if I'm reading the map correctly, but that could also be Dwemer ruins. It could be halfway through, halfway between Narmok and Laod. Yeah, somehow I've wound up on these islands. This doesn't feel right. Alright, yeah, so this is Dwemer for sure. I'm sure I'd learn a lot here, but this is not where I want to be, so... Just gonna take a minute to get back to the mainland, and then we'll follow the path to where I need to go. Yeah, I'm happy to be able to get the mushrooms, but I really need Conberry. It's nice to investigate another part of the region, though. I'm just a little sad that I did it at night. Alright, so it should be south of Hollomarin, although given what I know now, I am going to take a quick peek and see if I can find that index. Now that I know what I'm looking for. I must have had a full inventory when I visited here. just so I can remind myself of what I'm looking for. It looks like a little torch almost. It's possible in here because I am very oblivious. But so far as I can tell, no. So I will take a minute inside. I don't want to spend too much time. Whoa. Alright, well, obviously I haven't, obviously I haven't been here.
Your blood.
Would have been better for me to say, how do you like them apples? Wasn't it?
I will kill you quickly.
Keep trying to start all these conversations. Hi.
You're growing weaker.
If you say so. Alright, so there's a bunch of rooms. So just hang left. I'll basically go through every door that I can. That's his top level.
Bones will be my dinner.
This is exactly how I was planning on spending the time. It's hard to say it's a waste. It is worth saying one of the reasons why I'm particularly focused on exploring this area is that this is reasonably close to Palmora. So if I do wind up finding more of those indices, I'm in a good position to get a few more free fast travel options. Just watching me take their stuff.
body!
I don't remember if I've read Special Floor of Tamriel. I think I have. I like that reaction. Sounds like me if I've been queuing for a match in something and for some reason the connection doesn't work. Alright, so I'm gonna try and go to the lower levels before I go to the upper. Never mind. Top one it is.
Now you're going to get it.
There is no escape! Stupid!
The locked room.
I believe we've already... Yes, we have done this one. The vampire. I mean, it's kind of tempting.
No one can challenge me! No one can challenge me!
Wasn't exactly a challenge. Alright. Again, this is basically burglary at this point, but I've started and I'll see it to the end.
There is no escape!
I suppose at least they're a little more attentive than their co-workers downstairs.
You will die!
It's kind of hard to believe that something like an index would be found in a crate like this. I'm really trying to decide. Okay, before I go any further, let's that bought me a little bit of room that I'm gonna actually have to start using my potions or my spells. Although I think I have more than enough.
It's the end of you,
Restore my
sweat! I have to.
through this. I definitely need to stop lollygagging, though. Alright, so it doesn't seem like there were any closed doors for me to go past. Hi.
I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Brilonsu Laeris. How can I help you?
What are you doing here?
I am a battle mage. Although arrayed as a Western knight and with heavy armor, axes, and long blades, my primary training is in the College of Alteration, the College of Destruction, and the College of Conjuration. To round out my education, I have mastered enchantments and alchemy. Potions made through alchemy or purchased from alchemists grant me the magics of restoration, mysticism, and illusion colleges. And there can be and can there be any more terrible master of the science of war than a battle mage? I think not. Do you have the key to the bracers? Will you let me go free?
Yes. Keep in mind that you're not alone. I'll read this, but it feels bad to take it away from a slave.
The Mystery of Princess Talara, Part 3 by Mara Licketh. Norboth was leaving his favorite pub in Camlorn, the Breaking Branch, when he heard someone calling his name. When he heard someone calling his name. His was not the sort of a name that could be mistaken for another. He turned and saw Lord Errol, the royal battle mage from the palace, emerge from the darkness of the alley.
I feel like I've read this before. Clearly I haven't.
My lord, said Norbuth with a pleasant smile. I'm surprised to see you out this evening, Norbuth, grinned Lord Errol with a most unpleasant smile. I've not seen you and your master very much since the millennial celebration, but I understand that you've been very busy. What I've been wondering is what you've been busy doing.
Yeah, this is probably something I read in Daggerfall.
Protecting the Imperial interests in Camlorn is busy work, my lord, but I cannot imagine that you would be interested in the minutiae of an ambassador's appointments. But I am, said the battle mage, especially as the ambassador has begun acting most mysteriously and most undiplomatically lately. And I understand that he has taken one of the whores from the flower festival into his house. I believe her name is Gina? Or Gina? Norbuth shrugged. He's in love, I would imagine, my lord. It can make men act very strangely, as I'm sure you've heard before. She's a most comely wench, laughed Lord Errol. Have you noticed how much she resembles the late Princess Talara? I've only been in Camlorn for 15 years, my lord. I never saw her late majesty. Now I could understand if he had taken to writing poetry, but what man in love spends his days in the kitchens of the palace, talking to old servants? That hardly sounds like a molten passion to me, even based on my limited experience. Lord Errol rolled his eyes. And what is this business he's now in? Oh, what's the name of that village? Umbington, replied Norbuth, and immediately wished that he hadn't. Lord Errol was too canny an actor to reveal it, but Norbuth knew in the pit of his stomach that the battle mage did not even know Lord Strail had left the capital. He had to get away to let the ambassador know, but there was still a game to be carefully played. He's not leaving for there until tomorrow. I believe it's just to put a stamp on some deed that needs the Imperial seal. Is that all? How tedious for the poor fellow. I suppose I'll see him when he returns then, Lord Errol bowed. Thank you for being so informative. Farewell. The moment the royal battle mage turned the corner, Norbuth leapt onto his horse. He had drunk 1 or 2 ales too many, but he knew that he must find his way to Umbington before Lord Errol's agents did. He galloped east out of the capital, hoping that there were signs along the road. Seated in a tavern that smelled of mildew and sour beer, Lord Strail marveled at how the Emperor's agent, Lady Brisenya, always found the most public of places for her most private of conferences. It was harvest time in Umbington, and all the field hands were drinking away their meager wages in the noisiest of fashions. He was dressed appropriately for the venue, rough trousers and a simple peasant's vest, but he still felt conspicuous. In comparison to his 2 female companions, he certainly was. The woman to his right was used to frequenting the low places of Daggerfall as a common prostitute. Lady Brisenya to his left was even more clearly in her element. By what name would you prefer I call you? Lady Brezenia asked solicitously. I am used to the name Gina, though that may have to change, was her reply. Of course, it may not. Gina the Whore may be the name writ on my grave. I will see to it that there is no attempt on your life like the Flower Festival, Lord Strail frowned. But without the Emperor's help, I won't be able to protect you forever. The only permanent solution is to capture those who would do you harm and then raise you to your proper station. Do you believe my story? Gina turned to Lady Brezenia. I have been the Emperor's chief agent in High Rock for many years now, and I have heard few stranger tales. If your friend the Ambassador hadn't investigated and discovered what he has, I would have dismissed you as outright as a madwoman, Brezenia laughed, forcing a smile onto Gina's face to match. But now, yes, I do believe you. Perhaps that makes me the madwoman. Will you help us? Asked Lord Strail simply. It is a tricky business interfering in the affairs of the provincial kingdoms. Lady Brezenia looked into the depths of her mug thoughtfully. Unless there is a threat to the Empire itself, we find that it is best not to meddle. What we have in your case is a very messy assassination that happened 20 years ago, and its aftermath. If His Imperial Majesty involved itself in every bloody hiccup in the succession in each of his 1,000 kingdoms, we would never accomplish anything for the greater good of Tamriel. I understand, murmured Gina. When I remembered everything, who I was and what happened to me, I resolved to do nothing about it. In fact, I was leaving Camlorn and going back home to Daggerfall when I saw Lord Strail again. He was the one who began this quest to resolve this, not me. And when he brought me back, I only wanted to see my cousin to tell her who I was, but he forbade me. Would have been too dangerous, growled Strail. We still don't know yet the depths of the conspiracy. Perhaps we never will. I'm sorry, I always find myself giving long explanations to short questions. When Lord Strail asked if I would help, I should have begun by saying yes. Lady Brezenia laughed at the change in Lord Strail's and Gina's expressions. I'll help you, of course, but for this to turn out well, you must accomplish two things to the Emperor's satisfaction. First, you must prove with absolute certainty who is the power behind the plot you've uncovered. You must get someone to confess. And secondly, said Lord Strail, nodding, we must prove that this is a matter worthy of His Imperial Majesty's consideration, and not merely a minor local concern. Lord Strail, Lady Brezenia, and the woman who called herself Gina discussed how to accomplish their goals for a few hours more. When it was agreed what had to be done, Lady Brezenia took her leave to find her ally, Prosecus. Strail and Gina set off to the west, toward Camlorn. It was not long after beginning their ride through the woods that they heard the sounds of galloping hoofbeats far up ahead. Lord Strail unsheathed his sword and signaled for Gina to position her horse behind him. At that moment, they were attacked on all sides. It was an ambush. 8 men, armed with axes, had been lying in wait. Lord Strail quickly yanked Gina from her horse, pulling her behind him. He made a brief, deft motion with his hands. A ring of flame materialized around them and rushed outward, striking their assailants. The men roared in pain and dropped to their knees. Lord Strail jumped the horse over to the closest one and galloped full speed westward. I thought you were an ambassador, not a mage, laughed Gina. I still believe that there are times for diplomacy, replied Lord Strail. The horse and rider they had heard before met them on the road. It was Norbuth. Lord, it's the Royal Battle Mage. He found out you two were in Umbington. With considerable ease, I might add. Lord Errol's voice boomed out of the woods. Norbuth, Gina, and Lord Strail scanned the dark trees, but they showed nothing. The Battle Mage's voice seemed to emanate from everywhere and nowhere. I'm sorry, my lord, groaned Norbuth. I tried to warn you as soon as I could. In your next life, perhaps you'll remember not to trust your plans to a drunkard, laughed Lord Errol. He had them in his sight, and the spell was unleashed. Norbuth saw him first by the light of the ball of fire that leapt from his fingertips. Later, Lord Errol was to wonder himself what the fool had intended to do. Perhaps he was rushing forward to pull Lord Strail out of the path. Perhaps he was trying to flee the path of destruction and had simply moved left when he should have moved right. Perhaps, as unlikely as it seemed, he was willing to sacrifice himself to save his master. Whatever the reason, the result was the same. He got in the way. There was an explosion of energy that filled the night, and an echoing boom that shook birds from the trees for a mile around. On the few square feet where Norbuth and his horse had stood, there was nothing but black glass. It had been reduced to less than vapor. Gina and Lord Strail were thrown back. Their horse, when it recovered its senses, galloped away as fast as it could. In the lingering glowing aura of the spell's detonation, Lord Strail looked straight into the woods and into the wide eyes of the Battle Mage. Damn, said Lord Errol, and began to run. The ambassador jumped to his feet and pursued. That was a very expensive use of magicka, even for you, said Lord Strail as he ran. Don't you know well enough not to use ranged spells unless you are certain your target won't be blocked? I never thought that idiot. Lord Errol was struck from behind and knocked to the wet forest floor before he had a chance to finish his lamentation. Doesn't matter what you thought, said Lord Strail calmly, flipping the battle mage around and pinning his arms to the ground with his knees. I'm not a battle mage, but I knew enough not to use my entire reserve on your little ambush. Perhaps it's a matter of philosophy. As a government agent, I feel inclined towards conservatism. What are you going to do? Whimpered Lord Errol. Norbuth was a good man, one of the best, and so I'm going to hurt you quite a lot. The ambassador made a slight movement with his hands and began to glow brightly. That's a certainty. How much more I'm going to hurt you after that depends on what you tell me. I want to hear about the former Duke of Oleon. What do you want to know? Lord Errol screamed. Let's start with everything, replied Lord Sorrel with perfect patience. You've been introduced, Outsider. I'm Nevin Verilith. How can I help you?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm an archer. I'm the kind of fighter who hates getting hurt, so I ambush with my marksman weapons from a distance, then run like crazy when I can, and fight with long blades or spears when I must. I prefer spears because they're longer. I keep further from things trying to hurt me. If that sounds cowardly of you, better stick with tin suits and fat axes.
So I'm going to do a restore fatigue as well as a restore magicka. Yeah, so these things are appallingly heavy. While I'm at it, I might as well get a healing. Leaping like this, but it's faster, or it feels faster at least. I'm sure I probably passed that once before.
Do you have the key to the bracers? Will you let me go free? You have the key. Will you let me go free? Yes, now I am free. Thank you, Caius. I don't believe we've been introduced, Outlander. I am Drizram Gross Shagrak. How can I help you?
Who are you?
I'm a barbarian and proud of it. I like the wilderness, and how to live comfortably off the land, the various creatures of the wild and how to hunt them, what bits are good to eat and what bits the city folk will pay for. I know weapons and armor and how to stay healthy. So I can play soldier for pay, but I hate taking orders, so I'd rather live by hunting.
Didn't last very long. I mean, at some point, yeah, I should probably make a decision here. I'm clearly not going to be able to keep, actually, you know what? I am.
I think we've been introduced. I'm Arkming the Flayer. How can I help you?
What's your trade? Well, not flaying. Liar. Alright, so obviously the hope was to try and find an index. And it may be on one of those people that I didn't take out. It might be somewhere really obvious, but I don't think there's any value in me delaying this any further, so let's head. Oh, you're kidding me. So that's not the one I'm looking for. Oh no. Ah, I think I see it now. If I'd stayed on those, yeah. So if I had actually stayed on those islands, I would have found it. Alright, well, lesson learned. I wonder if I have I don't think I have a fortify speed. Do have a heal now, though. I suppose I can fire off some fireballs while I'm, Which icon is the Restore Magicka? Alright. Oops. Well, we knew that was gonna happen. This wouldn't be bad for some soul traps, but again, I'm trying to do this quickly. Also, it's so odd to see this in daylight. Ah. Fire salts don't necessarily do that much for me.
I think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Nornil. How can I help you? I don't know who you're talking about. I'd look for him in Narmak, a fishing village on the west coast of Ardenfell.
What are you doing here?
I'm a witch hunter.
Alright. I feel like I might have been here before. Let's get a bit of healing in first. this point, it's just wasteful not to do it. I'm gonna try a different approach here. Oh Jesus, I'm still... No, I'm not. I thought I was regenerating magicka. Of course I am. Oh wow, I'm over encumbered after casting that. Alright. Clearly I've lost my mind. Skoom's just worth so much. Alright, well, that didn't work. Lesson learned. I really should be more careful about that. Obviously, if I get caught on something, it's not gonna win well for me. Alright, I'll admit I'm a little confused as to how I'm supposed to get there without using, magicka. Not that I can't use there we go.
Your end is here.
Wimp. Alright, here's how I'm gonna handle this. Put down one of the Daedric katanas. That way I can do everything else. So the key here is to just find their companion. Alternatively, the scroll that we were looking for. I'm not crazy about this because obviously I'm gonna have to turn around and get that katana back, but not the weapon I wanted, but should have thought that through. Should have thought that through. Alright, I'm sure there's a better way in there, but at this point I just wanna try and make some progress. It's possible I might have just killed the companion without realizing it. And there's sorry about the trouble. Alright, now I'm taking a bit of a risk doing this, but no, not that big of a risk after all. So again, I can't bring the katana because I've not I haven't done the full. Alright, that's odd. These were Tremora ashes. I feel like I've explored the whole area, so why can't I find this bodyguard? I suppose there's a question. I also need to be careful about the time. Technically, I start broadcasting in 12 minutes, although I'll try and push things out a little bit later. Alright.
Carol Camo is a very old high elf wizard.
Okay, hang on.
Carol Camo is the person I just killed. And it's Ryan. Yeah, Mary Aaron. It suggests that they're going to be together. Okay, let me just read that. I'll read that from the top to bottom. Carol Camo is a very old High Elf wizard. As a young mage, he served Uriel V, although he did not follow him to Akavir. He was counted among the wise and powerful until he was implicated in Jagarthon's plot to place an impostor on the Imperial throne. Since then, he and his bodyguard, a masterful knight named Mary Aaron, have been fugitives. Carol Camo is a servant of Marunus Dagon, a grim agent of death and destruction, and the Imperial cult has long sought to destroy him. Okay. So, I suppose... I mean, it carries a pretty big implication that they are together. But if they're supposed to be in the... If they're supposed to be in the same building, I don't...
I think I'm going to do one more round. Again, it's all basically free magicka at this point because I've got so many of these potions and they're taking up space. Not sure what I expected to find there, but... I suppose I would have expected to find the bodyguard in the place where the agent of the chapel fell. I'm actually kind of determined to find and take this guy out, so we'll come back in here to get the katana. Actually, if I'd been thinking, I would have dropped even more stuff at the entrance so I didn't have to keep casting the spell. So it really doesn't seem like this guy's out here. use levitation to get anywhere this time. Alright, so that doesn't really tell me anything. Might be something over here. So I'll admit, I think this guy kind of sucks as a bodyguard. Oh, you know what? There might be another entrance. No, but that's why I went outside. That doesn't make any sense. Alright, if I'm looking for an entrance, I basically go out that door, turn around, and see what I can find.
First, it seemed all the fuss about the Nerevarine prophecy was just silly superstition. Then I learned that the Dunmer have been waiting for Lord Nerevar to come back for centuries. The Incarnate, they call it. Every few years an Ashlander appears and the tribes call him the Incarnate. Then the temple goes out and hunts him down and reveals him as a fake. Why does the temple worry so much about it?
Can't imagine. How do you feel about that, by the way? I need to go to the bathroom, but I also know that I am wrapping up reasonably soon. So I'm trying to decide if I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to try and wrap it up here or move on. Well, so one way or the other, I gotta go into the shrine to get my stuff anyway. I can't really think of any reason why they would be outside the shrine. It's possible I visited here already, but then why is Carol Camo still alive? So I think so, I mean, we killed a job half done, but I don't think repeating the same thing over and over again is gonna, improve. Specifically is the one I want to keep. Alright. Obviously there's a bunch that I need to sell before I do anything. Try and make my loot a little lighter with some money. Alright, of course, well, seeing as I've got it, I need to make sure anything for Restore Magic is set aside. Let's try that again. So, white salt's out. Vampire dust, I did just buy some new ones, but I'll leave that be for now. So, fortify strength. I thought I had at least one other thing for fortify strength. Let's leave that aside for now. We'll take our moon sugar and see if we can find anything to advance speed. I know that the resin at least will. Alright, so I've dealt with strength and speed, so I've dealt with restore, magicka. I do have a chance for a couple of paralyze. Drain agility. Excellent. Yes, okay, so I want to know everything. Works for me. I really should be looking for mushrooms that do that, but okay, well that'll go well with the razor plumes. Wonder what else can paralyze. So crush fiber gets set aside because it advances the personality. If I don't have any levitate, I don't see any point in keeping the razor plumes around. Let's find a use for drain strength. So now I'm just taking a look for the thing that I have the most of that has a negative effect and isn't a mushroom. Wait, drain luck and drain willpower. Why did I get rid of the whole point of getting the mushrooms was just so I could find some other things to put the negatives on. These by putting a cake out. Alright, so the Hackalow leaf doesn't really help me because it has paralyze. Houndmeat doesn't really help me because it doesn't have any negative effects. So the rest of it really does seem to be mushrooms at this point. Alright, well, here's what I'll do. We'll do one last run with the elite hide just to see if there's any intelligence that I can run with. Is there anything else I want from it? Not really. So with that in mind, let's just set that off to the side. I think we've kind of already established there's no more drain agility, but let's just double check. the razor plumes with. Actually, what I'll do here, so we've got the Risala, which is drain fatigue, so let's find as many drain fatigues as I can. I won't put, I don't have that many spore pods, but I feel like there's a better use for it. Alright, so let's see if I have any drain health. It's hard to keep it on in mind when I have a slightly more pressing concern right now. Alright, so I've got health, fatigue, speed, magicka, personality. But the really important thing here is that it's all mushrooms feeding into each other, so the question is whether or not I really want to be working with that, or if I want to use them as inputs for later. So I'm going to take all of the... I won't do it forever, but I'm going to set these aside for the next time that I have a big stack. I want to see how useful they are for clearing out extra things. And then the rest of this I'm going to deal with as best as I can. Remember to get rid of that Qualma egg first. I probably messed up doing this. Oh, no, we're good. Alright, I think that's enough. More importantly, I've loaded on most of my, most of the weight. just over the edge. Alright, not exactly where I would have put it, but so still a little bit over. Alright, we'll put the blade down again. I'm gonna sell most of this, but let's start by looking. So Spirit of the Daedra, I'm pretty sure I have. Yep. What about, we definitely have the locked room. Song of the Alchemists. Yes. Special Flora of Tamriel. Again, I think we almost certainly have. Alright, so I have to hang on to all the books. Well, if that's true, that just means I go out and sell.
May you find all that you seek.
Well, I find myself in pleasant company. Please
Welcome,
share
adventurer.
your
Looking for an
thoughts.
equalizer? Something to give you an edge against a superior opponent? When you need a lot of damage in a hurry, you can't beat a poison blade. Try my inexpensive iron spider dagger and steel spider blade, or an imperial netch blade for even more bite.
Let's, oof. Alright, that one's expensive. I was scared that this might happen. Carrying a bunch of heavy stuff and then finding out I can't sell it. He's not gonna buy this anyway.
What did I do to deserve this honor?
Let's get rid of the skooma too.
Such useless creatures.
I'm a little cautious about how much stuff I'm selling off because I know some of these might be related to some of these might be related to a quest.
How delightful. Welcome.
I'm very happy.
Greetings, Tumbler. What can I do?
Alright, let's see if I can get a better price on some of this stuff. Alright, let me just make sure I'm not selling anything important.
Tidings and good wishes to you.
Still not really helping me with weight. So as always, let's see if I can pick up a few goodies. This would not be a bad time for me to use a potion, but a fortified personality potion, but this is why. Yeah, once I get rid of all of the nonsense in here, I'm gonna have so much space. Alright, before I go any further, any standard or other potions have got to go. Minor side effects. If you paralyze someone long enough, they get their fatigue back, also known as going to sleep. It's a little much to expect. I thought I was going to be able to get away with that. A hard bargain. I'm sure I probably left some profit on the table there, but turns out they're not complete yokels. Worth a shot. also gonna take a chance to visit the Mages Guild. Let's see if I can sell off some of these scrolls upstairs.
I don't know where to begin. It is such an honor to meet you.
So here. Invisibility might be helpful. Okay, that I gotta hang on to. I am leaving some nonsense in here, but it's not quite as critical to me that I mean, these are all point 2, right? There's only so many that... Oh, hang on. I've already sold it all out, so,
Hail, friend.
alright, I have some things to pick up from my...
3 blessings, Sarah.
The Outlander seeks answers.
Actually, hang on. I might
3
as well
blessings,
just stop
Sarah.
by, might as well just go straight to Vivek.
Welcome. If you wish to talk, it is really no trouble.
Vivek, please. So the reason I'm doing this is I know that I'm gonna have to pick some stuff up at Balmora anyway. So I know I'm gonna have to pick things up at Balmora, but I also know. Come on, come on,
I
come on,
find
come on,
myself
come on,
in
come
pleasant
on.
company. Please share your thoughts.
Balmora is gonna be the way that I can access the Ursulaku camp. Or, well, rather, sorry, that's not entirely true. It's the Mages Guild. Oh yeah, now that I think about it. No, I'll still use the recall. This is an okay decision I'm making. Why am I going to the Lalu? I'm not thinking, sorry.
Is there something I can do?
So I am half an hour late to my broadcast, and I need to go to the bathroom very badly. What I'll do here is I will speak to the Oracle, turn in, head back to Balmora, drop off my stuff, and we'll be ready to talk to the Ursulaku after the fact. I don't know if there's a difference for taking out the 2 outlaws, but I suspect I'll only be rewarded for getting the scroll.
How may I help
How can I help you? Please, by all means. I'm listening. Keep moving.
How may I help you, Dunmer? What can I do for you, friend?
I'd be happy to talk. My pleasure.
Got it wrong again. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Oh no. It's gonna remind me that I did that every single time I walk by if I don't put it back. Close enough.
Well met, friend.
By killing Carol Camo and Marion, you avenge the deaths of the healer Ujorid and his master Drofarin Stiffneck, and rid the world of a great evil. You've served the Imperial cult well. Please take these gauntlets of glory and put them to good use. Speak to me again when you are ready to undertake another one of the Oracle's quests.
Man, I really didn't think I got that guy.
Greetings to you. A pleasure to meet you.
Oracle Caius has granted... Oracle Caius Stendar has granted me a vision of the artifact Skull Crusher.
Tell me about Stendar first.
Stendar, god of justice and mercy, is the patron of righteousness and merciful forbearance. He is the inspiration of magistrates and rulers, the patron of the Imperial legions, and the comfort of the law-abiding citizen.
Tell me about Skull Crusher from this just man, then.
During the Skyrim captivity, the master weaponsmith Hilbengard of Skyrim, the great and the enchanter Dorak Gusol created an enchanted warhammer, Featherlight, yet brutal as an Atronach's fist. Featherlight, yet brutal as an Atronach's fist. This artifact, christened Skull Crusher by its makers, was lost when thieves snatched it from a festival display. Legend says its makers gave Skull Crusher the power to betray unlawful possessors, returning by its own will to its makers. All accounts indicate that Dorak Gusol and Hilbengard forged Skull Crusher at a Daedric site in Vardenfell, but no one has ever identified the site. But Stendar has given me a sign. He has shown me a vision of Hilbengard's forge, a Daedric ruin with a forge of molten stone at its heart. But fate has sealed this Daedric ruin forever from the world by a colossal rockfall. Yet there is another way into Hilbengard's forge. It lies through the halls of the dead. I do not know where the halls of the dead lie, but I know the way is dark and guarded by restless spirits, and the forge itself is guarded by the powerful Daedra, who served Dorak Gusol in his enchantment rituals. Ask a Dunmer Savant and a Dunmer Scout about a sealed Daedric ruin which might conceal Hilbengard's forge. Ask about the halls of the dead, another ruin or a grave guarded by undead spirits near this site. Through such a portal might the questing hero seek Skull Crusher, the peerless warhammer lost to men since the First Era. I believe this legendary weapon is fated to your hand. If you find Skull Crusher, bring it to me so that I may bless it and free it of its creator's curse.
What about advancement?
Congratulations, Caius, you have been promoted to Invoker. Invoker Caius, I believe that it is your fate to recover the long-lost artifact Skull Crusher. When you have this legendary weapon in hand, bring it so that I may bless it.
Gotta remember who the scout and the...
Nalasa Southren at the Elven Nation's Corner Club in Vivek is a Dunmer Scout. Lalam Dreadil is in the Grand Council Chambers here in Ebonheart is a Dunmer Savant.
Alright, my personal skills are not where they need to be. I think this is the long way around, but...
Go ahead, find me.
I'm fine, thank you. What can I do for you? That might be any Halls of the Dead. That might be any Dunmer ancestral tomb. The ancient Dunmer word for ancestral tomb is Cardrun. Run translates as home or hearth hall. Card means undeparted kin wardens. The sense is very close to your phrase Halls of the Dead.
You know what? I'm just gonna have to worry about this later. I gotta go, and I'm not gonna look through Vivek to try and find someone for another quest. Why? Get some nighttime fireballs off. Alright, and on that note, I think I'm gonna have to call it there, so we will pursue the status among the clans next broadcast. Until then, have a good one, and we'll see you next week.